Hey everyone, welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. What were we doing? It's been almost a week since I last recorded the game. I think in the last episode we had begun exploring. Well, we did, kind of, the unexplored rooms here in Southgate Station. Can you imagine that? Like, in your apartment complex, you find someone picking the pocket of your neighbor's home, and you're like, what are you doing? And he's like, exploring. Well, we are going to explore all these unexplored rooms. All the rooms that we're able to access here in Southgate Station, because we are busy also trying to solve Jack Quicksilver's quest here. I forget his name now, but there's a gentleman downstairs whose brother died in his sleep, and he believes foul play occurred. His brother, while not the picture of health due to an old injury that he suffered during the riots in Core City when Biocorp fell, still was healthy enough that he shouldn't have died in his sleep. So he's obsessed with the idea that someone killed him, even though there has been no proof of this at all. And our investigation so far has turned up nothing either. But that said, let's go ahead and keep looking around at the rest of the places here. And see if we can find any more information. I'm watching that camera all the way over there on the left. Someone that has some gasoline in their home. They must be out and about trying to find more empty bottles or what have you to improve their... Sorry, and trying to get more empty bottles so they can make Molotovs. A bullet strap belt and 50 Southgation... South State... Wow! Money! Let's take the money. And then get out of this place. Alright, so... We'll wait till the camera faces a different direction. Oh, nope, not allowed to do that. Oh, crap! Okay, well, now we have to reload. I'm not going to anger all of Southgate Station. Okay, so the camera can see me even when it's facing... when it's not directly facing me. A corner look is enough. But it doesn't have the range to see me down here. Okay, so let's do this again. That's good to know. I've so rarely actually done this because I have not wanted to anger Southgate Station. And I tend not to view this as worth the risk. Yeah, because there isn't, to my recollection, there isn't very much around here. Can we... I don't have time to do this. We would need the burglar feat to hack this door. We simply don't have what it takes to do so. That means this one's also off limits, so we can't explore either of those rooms. And this room, I don't believe we were able to access at all. Yeah, that one just says locked without any hacking. Alright, so I think we can probably enter this one, but we have to wait for the camera. We're allowed to open the door. Getting out of this is going to be a real pain in the butt, though. Cave hopper leather armor. It's not really worth it. 7.62 bullets. We'll take those. What else do we have? It's really just oddie items I'm looking for. I don't think there's any in these rooms. That said, it's been forever since I was last in here. 350 Southgate Station credits. I guess we can help ourselves to those. I think we'll also recharge our hacksaw. Whose room is this, do you think? I see plants in here. Mushrooms. Maybe this is Quentin's room. I think you can get one or two of the key cards to these rooms from other places. Now this is going to be the tricky part because we got to leave. Alright, we got super lucky there. Oh, that's interesting. This door is blocked by the shelves over there. Okay, so sure enough, we saw when we messed it up that someone is over here watching the cameras to make sure no one's doing exactly what we are doing. Let's say hi to him. Please leave. Hey, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here, Decker. Please leave. Right, sorry, this is why I said hello. Okay, interesting. I thought there was a dialogue I could actually have with them. Actually, you should search his pockets for any contraband. Who's watching the watcher? Security key card. It's a security card. It used to belong to Waylon. He doesn't need it anymore. We'll take it. Maybe that opens this door. Which will explain why he especially got super angry here, because this was his room. No. Okay, it is not to that room. Could be this one. Nope. And I know it's not this room. Okay, so this is Waylon's room, next door to us. Actually, his key card, that's a security key card, isn't it? Oh, okay, hold on, no. This is not a room. Well, it is a room. It's to a different room altogether. So this probably opens the room down here. Wrong. It would be the engineering's the engineering lab. Let's wait till the camera faces a different direction. Looks like there's monitors in here, so someone else is probably standing around in here. Oh, just locked. We need an actual key for that. Okay, well, that's the end, I guess, of our exploring of the rooms we're not supposed to enter in Southgate Station. Let's see if anyone on the engineering sub-level can tell us about the gentleman who was murdered. What's up? What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Ah, yeah, I knew Pat well. He was a man one truly can rely on, an honest man. I felt really sad when I heard about his death, you know? And seeing his brother in tears when he first came here after he found out. Man, it's been like 2 months and he still comes back here. I just don't get why Pasquale doesn't do the full autopsy and put this thing to rest, but it's his business. What was he like a person? As a person? Hard-working man, fun to hang out with. You would be hard-pressed to find someone who disliked him. Well, maybe Big Brett, as the two of them had several heated arguments over the way Pat installed some of the hopper pen heaters. Brett can be impulsive at times. He takes his job seriously, and it's a serious job. I agree, but he can take it too far sometimes. Alright, thanks, Harold. So hinting that Big Brett and him didn't get along, but Big Brett doesn't seem like the type to kill him, and there was no marks on the body. Big Brett doesn't also strike me as someone subtle enough to kill him in such a fashion. Decker? What do you know of Patrick Pierce's death, Ezra? His death occurred not too long ago, before you came to Southgate Station, if I'm not mistaken. It's unusual. What do you mean by unusual? Unusual death. Very peaceful. Pasquale never discovered what caused it. I think he could have been more thorough with his autopsy, but I find it hard to blame him, as one cannot blame a man for prioritizing the living over the dead. What can you tell me? Can you tell me anything about what he was like as a person? Patrick? Decent. Good in his field of work. That's all I have to say. Alright, take care, Ezra. Well, this is, I suppose, the way you would want to die, to go out peacefully in your sleep. So... I guess we'll talk to Big Brett and Quentin. We'll talk to Mr. Quentin first. Hey, forget something. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Patrick? Was it a heart attack? I forgot. I remember all the fuss about it. Was it a heart attack? I can't remember. It happened 2 months ago. I don't see why it's important anyway. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? He was a friendly guy, approachable. We were a different sort of people. He'd hang out more with people like Harold or Wayne than me or Brett, for example. He was polite. We'd chat from time to time. Although, just before he died, Brett complained about some heaters he was installing in the hopper pens. Said he did a sloppy job. It was true. The poor hoppers were about to die from overheating. Brett got a bit mad, and I understand him fully. I even talked to Patrick once about the whole situation. Alright, take care, Quentin. He nods and returns to his work. Hey, what can I do for you? I went to Camp Hathor. Good, and what's happening there? Everything's alright. The camp wasn't damaged in the earthquake, and they'll fix communication lines soon. They also had some burrow issues, but now it's all sorted out. The camp is functioning as usual. Great. Glad to hear everything's alright. It's all set then. You've done your part. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Yeah, I remember it alright. He seemed healthy and well, but then one day he didn't leave his room for almost the entire day. When they went to check up on him, they found him dead in his bed. Poor guy. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? I liked Pat. He was a good person, even though we had some disagreements. For example, I asked him to install some heaters for my hoppers. He did so, and everything was supposed to be automatic. Fine. I come back, my hoppers are lying on their sides with their tongues out. It felt like it entered a furnace. I don't know how he messed up. I specifically told him to test it and to be careful, like 100 times. Make sure it freaking worked before you fire it up. My hoppers nearly died because of it. I know it sounds like I'm overreacting, but this is serious work. I'm beating the station for crying out loud. Alright, take care, Big Brett. It sounds like Patrick took the arguments or criticism very seriously. I suppose that's human nature. We tend to focus on the negative things, especially criticism, than positive criticism. Speaking of which, thank you all again for being so kind for this Underrail playlist here that I'm uploading, this series. It does encourage me to keep going at a third time through the game. It's nice to have some feedback that the things I'm uploading to YouTube are well received by you guys. Thank you. We've talked to basically everyone else. I guess we'll talk to Vera about Patrick Pierce. Then we'll go back and talk to the brother and tell him what we discovered so far. Decker, the whole station's talking about you. I hope Gorski didn't give you too much trouble. How can I help you? What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death, Vera? He died in his sleep. But it's true that Pasquale never discovered the exact cause of death. I believe it's nothing to worry about. Someone suggested a bacteria that live in the ventilation system, but that would mean the death of us all, wouldn't it? If you want to learn more, just talk to Pasquale. I'm sure he'll tell you all you want to know. I'm far too busy anyway. Alright, take care, Vera. There is Lucas at the armory, but I don't think he's going to have anything else to say. We also have Ellie I believe, at the station platform, and Mordra down in the caves. I guess since we're here, we'll talk to both of them. Oh, Decker. What did Patrick do in Core City, Linux? Didn't I tell you that, already? Nope. Strange. I could have sworn I mentioned it. Pat and I, we were orphans. Our mother, died when we were young, and Dad was never met him. So we had to take care of ourselves. More precisely, Pat had to take care of us both. After years of doing whatever earns coins, scavenging and the like, you dig, Pat and I came to Core City. It was just after Biocorp fell apart. Maybe sometime after. Riots and chaos filled the streets. Praetorian security, newly formed at the time, needed men to help them fight the rioters and all that bunch. The pay was good, so he and Pat joined. He was young and, you dig, burly, so he became an enforcer. What can you tell me about Praetorian security? They were trying to take control over the city, and they eventually did. They are one of the major factions in the Core City now. But they were a marble back when compared to the boulder they are now. Alright, please continue. Pat and I both stayed in Core City due to his work, and it went well for some time, for a while. Unfortunately, he was hurt during one of the riots. A brute with a sledgehammer slammed him right in the spine. The bastard got him real bad, so bad he had to leave Praetorian security, as he couldn't do his job anymore. Oh, wow, I read that sentence wrong. The bastard got him real bad, so bad he had to leave Praetorian security, as he couldn't do his job anymore. He was also hurt, mentally. He saw things, horrible things. Rarely talked about it, but I could see it. We left Core City after that. Nothing for us there anymore. I took care of him until his back got better, and then we split. He went around, learned to work with electronics. He didn't want to be a scavenger his whole life, so he roamed, before settling here at Southgate Station. He told me he was happy here, that he finally found a place he could feel safe and at home. Tears began rolling out of his eyes to refill his glass. Damn it. What about you? What did you do after the split? He wipes his eyes. I had to learn to take care of myself. I went to work in Foundry for a while, as a miner. But since I value my life somewhat, I left that place. The pay was good, you dig? That place was a death trap. Then I worked at Junkyard Docks. I did all sorts of things. It would take me time to mention them all. Okay, Linux, thank you. Okay, so let's go to the platform. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to hear lots of Cthulhu sounds. I'm drinking soda. I need the caffeine. Hey, Essie. What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? She shakes her head. Don't remind me of that, please. I really liked Pat, as most of us here, and whenever I hear about Big Brett complaining about him, those hopper pen heaters Pat installed, I get infuriated. Who cares? Who gives a rat hound's ear about your stinking heaters? Quinton, being his pal, usually supports him. They get on my nerves, both of them. Let the man rest in peace. What the hell? Sorry, I'm raging a bit. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? If I ever say anything bad about him, please punch me right in the kisser. I think that should explain it all. Alright, take care, Essie. Alright, everyone seems to like him. Only person who might have had a reason to kill him would be Brett, but... Again, he doesn't strike me as a type to have killed him, and there were no marks on the body. Oh, I guess we can ask Malcolm about Patrick Pierce, can we? No, we cannot. Okay. Open the gate, please. I'm off to the caves. Savannah? I think that's her name. The captain down here by the docks might also be able to give us information about Patrick Pierce. My plan is to go to Core City using her boat, so we'll talk to her when we come back after seeing Mordre. As long as I'm in the area. Did I explore all the... Oh, I did! Okay. Just seeing if there was any reason why I might want to use some dynamite down here. Guess we should eat some food, since we're down here walking around. I think there is one... I think it's the room we were just in. Can occasionally have a random encounter in it. And we have plenty of cash still, even after the super steal. Alright, Tim, so since you're walking around, why don't you talk to the viewers about other stuff you're doing? So, I began uploading Biomutant. I think it was early this week? Yeah, earlier this week. My brother Dave bought me the game, and he thought I might like it, and or I might want to upload it to my channel. He himself is curious as to how I would play it, and my thoughts on the game. So, I know... or at least I knew, nothing about the game at all until I started playing it. I've never heard of the game before. I didn't realize it was like going to be a popular game that has spent quite a bit of time in development. And I haven't played a game like it in a while on my channel, not since The Witcher 3, about 2 years ago. It's like a Zelda game in a way, but not the old isometric. It's like more like Breath of the Wild type of game. An open world for you to venture through and talk to random other mutants, and a quest to kill these various, sounds like these 4 bosses in different areas of the world. I imagine they're in dungeons or only accessible via certain means, so that you defeat each one, you get a part you need to save the world of some sort. Hey, Madre. Something you need? What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death? Dying his sleep. That's how I remember it, at least. Can you tell me what he was like as a person? Patrick. He was okay. People liked him. He had some good friends here in Southgate Station. I met him at the... Wow. Forgive me. I've been down here smoking a cigar and fishing for so long I've forgotten how to speak. I'd met him in the bar a few times. We would chat. We never socialized more than that. Alright, Wardre. Take care. So last time, we didn't have the pickpocket for this. But this time we can actually see what Hay has in his pockets. And he's got something weird. What is this? Unknown insignia. This insignia is unfamiliar to you. Maybe there's someone out there who could help you identify it. It's a quest item of some sort. I don't think he'll mind very much. Yeah, so Biomutant, it's decent. It feels like they kind of have mashed a bunch of different mechanics into the game, and or were unsure which one to stick with. The combat feels like it's a combination of Batman Arkham Asylum and Devil May Cry. Because you have combos, but then you have the countering system, like the enemies get a symbol over their head, and you press the counter to dash across the screen and stun them. It's very tricky, though. I've been spending a lot of time fighting the camera in the game. There's no way for you to lock on to a particular enemy in the game. The camera tries to figure out what it is you want to fight and help you with it. Unfortunately, sometimes it locks on to the wrong enemy, or the game has a different type of camera for when you're trying to engage enemies in melee, as opposed to using your range weaponry, and it's a bit frustrating. I've gotten used to it after about 7 hours of playing the game, but it could use some work. The game's balance for the equipment you find also seems very out of whack. So I apologize, everyone. I'm also doing what I normally do when it comes to talking about the games I'm playing, which is immediately leaping into the parts I'm critical about. I've noticed I do this a lot for the games I play. I think it's because I'm really worried someone will hear me talk about a video game and assume I am immediately recommending it. But I feel the urge to lay out all the parts about the game that I don't like first. This way people might be a little more hesitant. I'm not sure if I can recommend Biomutant or not yet, since I haven't gotten very far into the game. Some aspects of it I do like, others needs a little more time in the oven to be fully cooked, I think. And I'm getting the feeling the more I play it that the whole game should really have been delayed in its release by about another year or two. Oh, we want to talk to Svanna. Yeah, the equipment seems to be a bit all over the place. There's level-locked equipment, which I tend to really hate in any game that I play. I don't like games which say that you have to be a certain level to use a gun, because if your character knows how to use guns, why can't I use this gun exactly? It doesn't make sense realistically or thematically for that to be a restriction. The game is going to give me random loot, which it does. It should weaken the loot to be appropriate to the level I was when I killed the creatures that were holding that loot, as opposed to dropping like level 30 loot when I'm level 6. I really don't like that, because then I hold on to it in my inventory forever, and eventually I find some lower level loot, which is more powerful than the high level loot that dropped. This has been the case a few times now in the game as well, where I've gotten, especially I found this pair of early on pants that were phenomenal compared to any of the other pants I find in the game, and all the other pants or skirts require much higher level, but the pants I found, which are phenomenal, are like level 1. And I don't understand how the game decides what the stats are for the pants, because it strikes me that my pants should be level 50 pants or something like that. Alright, Savannah. Oh, we can't ask her about Patrick Pierce at all. I need to get to Core City. Alright, I'll take you there for 20 charons or 60 credits if you have those. It's a deal. Alright. So let's head up and go to the Praetorian Security and start there. I have a hunch they won't tell us about Patrick Pierce because we're not a member of their organization, but we'll ask. Can't hurt to ask. So, worst case scenario, we're told to shove off. So what else is there about badminton? The world is very pretty. I tend not to play very many pretty games, and I don't really want to slight all the games that I have been playing recently, but when it comes to the games I play, I'm more focused on the gameplay aspects of these games, rather than how nice the game looks. A game can be nothing stops a game from looking great and playing great, or having a fantastic story also. It just seems to be that you don't get all those aspects in a particular game. Good gameplay, good graphics, a great story. Witcher 3 kind of had that, although the combat was rather simple and unbalanced thanks to Quen. I had a dream where I killed a zoner with his ladle. Why did I say that? Oh, I hope I get the chance to whack a few of them faceless. How long do I have to wait here? Oh, he must be looking to join the Praetorians. I think we walked in here earlier. Need something, sir? I need some information about a former Praetorian security officer called Patrick Pierce. I'm afraid we can't share such information with the public, sir. That sort of information would be available only to those working for Praetorian security. We are not joining Praetorian security with Decker. He does not look like the type of person who would want to wear... I'm sorry. He would love to wear it. But he is not a thug. Or maybe he is from time to time, but he's not going to wear heavy armor and wield an assault rifle, which is what the Praetorian security is all about. He's more of a... What's what I'm looking for? More roguish than that. Wow. So Praetorian security is not going to give us any information. But you know who does have information about random people? John the Beautiful. So let's see if he might have some info for us about Patrick Pierce. Alright, Jim, what else is there? Come on. You done with Biomutant already? I like the exploration feel of the game. You get to go down into abandoned subway stations or sewer systems, abandoned ruins, and so on. You get to fight a handful of enemies there, and then you get to find some loot. It reminds me a lot of The Witcher 3 in that regard. I suppose just like The Witcher 3, most of the battles also feel the same. Once you have a certain rhythm down, and or a certain type of weapons, a certain weapon style that you like, I can't see you really speccing into anything different in the game. John looks around and whispers, "Hey pal, got food ready?" "I need some specific information, John." "That's what I'm saying. Prepare some food and let's get started." "I need some information on a former Praetorian security officer called Patrick Pierce." "Again?" "Hey pal, I can think some information out for you, don't worry. Don't worry a thing. John is your man. Don't you trust me? Come on, pal." He observes you in anticipation. After a few moments, he smiles and speaks. "Fine. If you're not going to offer anything, I'll have to ask for it myself. And since this requires quite a bit of work, I'll have my special." "Your special what?" "You're joking, right? You don't know what my special is? Hey, pal, you disappoint me. Come on. How come you don't know what my special is? It's like you only recently met me, pal. Look, just go to Moe's and tell him you want John's special. Got it? Bring it to me, pal. By the time you're back, I'll prepare anything you need about Patrick Pierce." "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Raises his chin and speaks in a pseudo-divine voice. "Now go, mortal. Seek Moe and acquire John's special. If the god in me is pleased, then you shall gain the knowledge that you seek so vigorously. Go now." "Get." "Alright, I'm going. Alright, so let's go back downstairs to Moe's and get John's special. What else about the game, Tim? Come on, you can give more criticism or your thoughts on the game. I guess this is a pseudo review of it. The weapons seem to lack oomph to them. When you hit enemies, it kind of feels like you're hitting enemies with a wet noodle rather than you're actually damaging them. And the weapons spread, I don't understand why they went immediately for hundreds of damage, since it seems like the enemies have thousands of life. So your very first weapon, well, at least my very first weapon, a two-handed blade, says it inflicts 300 to 400 points of damage, which is, that sounds amazing, until you realize you still have to hit the starting enemies with 2 or 3 combos to kill them. So you're hitting them for 4,000 damage or so. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's always weird to me when you get these super big numbers. And especially because then when I spend time looking to upgrade my weaponry, it increases damage by 5 points or 10 points. And it makes me realize that the magnitude of increase is so small compared to the amount of resources it requires to get that upgrade. It makes it seem like it's not even worth it. Something sure smells good. Wow, look at that. It's Moe's food. Want some? Do you know anything about John the Beautiful? Do I? If he continues with his food for information thing going, I'm going to be rolling in Charons with the rest of the fat rats in Core City. Bless him. I want him to live forever. No, really. Bless him. I'd like to order one John special. Ah, bless him. You got, 200 Charons ready? 200? Do you put gold in that thing? And John's special requires some expensive ingredients, just so you know. He likes it made that way, and he never hesitated sending someone to buy it for him, so the price is not the issue, apparently. Can I get a discount? I'm afraid not. The ingredients themselves are what makes it so expensive, especially the spices. So the price is 200 Charons, and not a Charon less. Well, here's the coin. Hardcore. Please wait while I prepare the dish. It won't take too long. It took a long time for Mo to prepare the dish, more than he suggested at first. Still, you have never seen someone prepare a dish with so many different and to you exotic-looking spices. Different kinds of meat, some removed from the vertical skewer at the stall, some from the grill, with the addition of 5 kinds of mushrooms, roots, and of course, spices. The set was so strong it could make you feel full without ever touching the food. Finally, the dish was ready. There's a sub shop down near me, and they make this sub called the Army Bomb. It consists of sausage, pepperoni, salami, ham, mayo, provolone cheese, Swiss cheese, onions, and 2 types of mushrooms on a sub roll. And it is heavenly to eat it. It's got like 4,000 calories in it, and after you're done eating, odds are you're going to fall asleep because it's so much work to eat half a sub, but it is delicious. The amount of grease that covers the wrapping of the sub is amazing as well. I think it's just oozing fat. Oh, man, and I haven't had it in like 7 years because it's just so bad for me. And at my age, my metabolism has all but stopped. I could probably have that sub for breakfast and then not eat anything else the rest of the day. My goodness. They have a light version of it, but it's just not the same. I'm imagining this sub is something, this sandwich that we're about to bring John is something similar. Here you go. Tell John I said hi. I will. Goodbye, Mo. Actually, while we're here, Mo, I need some other food. Let's think. So let's get a few of these. And we'll take... I don't need 6 of those. We'll take one of these also. Okay, let's head back up and talk to John. They've done a weird thing in Biomutant as well with the narration. So every single NPC you talk to in the game is a creature. It reminds me of, say, the Redwall book series. They're all anthropomorphic animals who can speak. Or like the board game Root. They are animals like cats or foxes, otters, or what have you, and or some combination thereof. And they can wield weapons. They have their own language. They set up shops and so on. It seems to be based on a Asian culture of some sort as well. Probably because the company that polluted the world and accidentally created these creatures because of that contamination were Asian, I believe, based upon the signs I'm seeing for the shops which were abandoned a long time ago. In any case, when they speak, it's all gibberish languages, similar to Star Wars: The Old Republic. However, instead of the text for the creature appearing below in subtitles, after the creature's done talking, is when the narrator begins explaining what it was that the creature said. It's interesting that they did it this way. It's like you have a translator with you explaining what was actually uttered. It does add some amount of time to the dialogue between you and the NPCs, and in a way, I like it for the novelty, but it also removes me from the immersion of speaking with the characters, because I don't really get to understand their character. The translator is robbing me of that. I kind of wish, basically, I wish they did it more like Star Wars: Old Republic than how they have done it. But still, it's a design decision from those developers, and good for them for trying something new. Hey, pal, got food ready? I might. Oh, I do, actually. Here's what you wanted. Now, I want information on Patrick Pierce. My food! Gimme, gimme, gimme! He smells the food. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Damn, this is good. Pal, you did excellent. While you were gone, I got the information you needed, so listen up carefully, because I will be eating and talking at the same time. Your friend, Patrick, was indeed working for Praetorian Security. Came aboard almost 15 years ago, back when it was still pretty bad in Core City. Riots, gangs, violence. Yeah, pal, Patrick was fighting rioters until he got hurt badly and had to leave for good. Come with part. Patrick was involved with something quite interesting during his time in Praetorian Security. Operation Banishment. What is that? Operation Banishment. Operation Banishment was a cleanup of all the remaining Spectres, Biocorp's elite operatives, who were still loyal to the overthrown anti-protectorate Biocorp directors. Patrick turned out to be quite a hero. He got a promotion for killing several of these deadly Spectres, but he was injured soon after that, so he didn't have the time to really enjoy it. What? Where's the food? I ate it all? Oh, but me still hungry. Tummy burning, not yet gone. Is that everything? Hey, pal, you really think I'd hide something from you, huh? Don't disappoint me, pal. That's all I know. What about the Spectres? Do you know any more about them? Not really. Just what I told you. Former Biocorp Special Forces unit. Deadly. All killed by Praetorian Security. Officially, at least. Most of the information on Spectres was probably destroyed a long time ago. I don't know, pal. If you search hard enough, maybe you'll find some hardcore dope who's interested in all that stuff and knows more about it than I do. However unlikely that someone knows anything more than me. His stomach growls. Again? One more thing before I leave, John. I need more specific information. That's what I'm talking about. Actually, we'll come back for Aegis Incorporated. I'm looking for the Acid Hunters. Tummy hurts. Need burger. I don't have that at the moment. I'll be back when I do. Me hungry. Alright, see you around. So we need a burger. That information, which we don't have at the moment. So since he doesn't have any more information, maybe we can get that information from Jean or Harriet. Or maybe they'll know someone who might have that information. What can I get you, mate? I'm looking for the Acid Hunters. I know them. They're led by this guy, Cornell. Cornell! The Green Mohawk guy. Thanks, love. A bunch of scavengers. They come here from time to time. Can't tell you much else about them, really. Haven't seen them in a while. Who knows, maybe they're dead. He laughs. I'm looking for some information on Spectres, a former Biocorp Special Forces unit. Do you know anything about them? That sounds familiar, mate. Spectres. Oh, I remember now. I think Oscar talked about that a few years ago. Absolutely, I remember it now. Why would Oscar know anything about Spectres? I don't know. He was an enforcer in the Praetorian Security before he opened his store. Maybe it had something to do with his job. I don't know, mate. Maybe we can help you with that Spectres you're asking about. Alright, thanks, Gene. Let me see what you got. And no burgers. Okay. Well, while we're here, let's visit our barrels. And I will leave some of this food here. I have no burgers here either. Okay, that's a shame. And the plasma core we got from the Faceless is not actually that good. I just felt like pointing it out randomly to you guys. Hey, Gunslinger. Back for more gear? I'm looking for some information on Spectres, a former Biocorp Special Forces unit. You know anything about them? Hardcore. You know about Spectres? Yeah, I recently heard of them. They dominate, man. So freaking hardcore. During my days at Praetorian Security, I heard a lot of stories about Spectres. I was so impressed that and don't tell this to anyone, I copied the file on them and brought it with me when I left the force. Man, let me tell you, they dominate. Can I see the file? Do you still have it? Well, I suppose sharing their hardcoreness with more people is okay, I suppose. For a price. I'm willing to pay whatever is necessary. It's gonna cost you 50, no wait, 100 charons. And then you can take a peek. A hardcore peek. Sure. Let me view that document on Spectres. He extends his hand. 100 charons. Let's give it to him. He takes the Stygian coins. Hardcore. Let me find the document, and it's yours to view. You're not leaving the store with it, though. It takes him a brief moment to search for the document, and then he hands it to you. He carefully watches while you read it. This file contains all known information of Biocorp's Special Operations Force, Spectre. Full name, Spectre. Part of Biocorp Security. Insignia, see picture below. Known members, James C. Barlington, Rudolph Branginger, Timothy Joe Burner, Michael Mornington, that's Modre, Stephen Luck, Harkira Matamo, Alyssa Bain, Johann Hagenström, Gunther. Known information. The Spectres were Biocorp's most elite unit, composed of a small number of highly trained operatives, and usually tasked with performing dangerous missions. They were most often sent to perform assassination missions. Before the takeover of Biocorp, they were a part of approximately 245 operations. 156 of those were assassinations. They were infamous for executing their victims by stabbing them through a nostril and into the brain, leaving very little and sometimes undetectable traces of how a target was killed. All known Spectres were killed during Operation Banishment, launched by Praetorian Security. While several bodies were never recovered, no Spectre activity was detected after the operation. The last page contains the picture of the Spectre insignia, which matches the one you took from Modre. Thank you. This is enough for now. Aren't they hardcore? Damn, that technique of theirs. Dominating. Just dominating. And he has not recycled his inventory yet. Okay, do I have anything I want to store while I'm here? So, now that we have more information, let's head back to Southgate Station and examine Patrick Pierce's body again. And or ask Pasquale to do so. So, Biomutant also features this good light side, dark side type of mechanic with it, but it feels a bit tacked on. The only thing it seems to adjust is certain types of powers that you'll be able to use. It works a bit differently than how it worked. Well, it works as, I guess, yeah, it works a bit... it's very similar to the to Star Wars The Old Republic. Because you need a certain amount of dark side or light side powers points to access specific powers. But it's not a tug of war. It's just a total amount of times you've chosen certain dialogue options. You can level both of them equally, and then get access to all the powers that would be restricted to either one of them. So, like, if you chose 10 light side answers, you would get 20 light side points. If you chose 20 dark side answers or choices, if you make 20 dark side choices, why can't I speak today? You'll get about like 40 dark side points, and these don't conflict with each other. You can have all those points, 40 dark and like 20 light, at the same time, so you don't ever lose access to any of the skills. Story-wise, the characters will tell you a little bit about how they feel that you're doing based upon your aura, but it doesn't look like it's going to lock you out of anything. The choices are a bit ridiculous in so much that, just like Star Wars: Old Republic, it's over the top, some of the choices that you have, especially, as usual, the dark side points. To earn them, you basically have to, like, kill people for no reason, or that seems to be the case most of the time. Like, you free someone from being held prisoner, and then your option is to help them, which is you just bowing, or to say, I'll leave you to fate, which is you uppercutting them in the face and killing them. And it's ridiculous. It's so dumb. But they added it in there for some reason. I'm not sure why they did that. Hello, Decker. Pasquale, I know how Patrick Pierce died. And how would you know that? I did some investigating and believe Patrick was murdered. Murder? But how is that possible? Wait, first tell me how Patrick Pierce was murdered. A long, sharp object was used to stab him through the nose and into the brain. Pasquale remains speechless. Could you check the body now that you know the cause? Yes, I will, at once. You wait here while I quickly examine the body. You notice a suspicious countenance on Pasquale as you were telling him about the murder, but when he finally returns, you could immediately tell what you said turned out to be the truth. His expression of doubt is now one of astonishment as well as regret. You were right. There is a puncture wound going through the nose and right into the brain. That was enough to kill him. I would never have guessed it. I failed. If only I had been more thorough. Relax. It's understandable. Thank you for your help. Yes, but tell me, who did this? I have to report this. I have to investigate this further. Don't say anything to anyone until I have more evidence, or else the murderer might realize we're on his tail. All right. I'll keep my mouth shut. This is all insane. So remember that we learned about one of the surgical needles going missing. So that is what was used. Baudre had been present with the doctor and had complained about some like head pain. When the doctor left to check on some blood work, Baudre must have snuck out of the waiting room or the examination room and gone and retrieved one of those needles. I like to imagine he might have dipped it into that neurotoxin, but he doesn't. I guess you don't really need it if you're going to stab a needle right through someone's brain. I'm imagining that Patrick experienced incredible amounts of really sharp pain before he just almost immediately died thereafter. God, what a... Not a... Well, I guess as long as it's quick. Oof. So, I believe now we are supposed to go and confront Baudre about this. Or Mordre. And then we'll go and talk to Tanner. I don't think he'll actually say anything about it. But we can report to Lennox Pierce and tell him what we discovered. And then Baudre himself will be gone. He won't be back in the Mushroom Cove any longer. While Southgate Station does consist of quite a few people of Baudre's stature and prior way of life, Southgate Station probably wants everyone to get along with each other and not in fact act like the murderers or criminals that they might have been before setting up their residence permanently at Southgate Station. Something you need? What do you know about Patrick Pierce's death again, Baudre? Well, Baudre, I know you killed him. Killed? Patrick Pierce died in his sleep. You were a member of the Spectres, the only one who survived Operation Banishment, and you decided to take revenge on Patrick, knowing he was a part of the operation. This conversation's over, friend. I mean, Judge Decker. I pity you. Go bother someone else. Alright, so we don't have to persuade to get him to admit this. Now, you can't kill Baudre, even with all the evidence that shows that he did indeed do it. You can kill him, but everyone in Southgate Station knows that you did it if you do it. And then Southgate Station is forever hostile to you. I actually don't think that's probably fair, to be quite honest. Mushroom Cove is rather remote. There are gangs not too far away from it. I mean, we dealt with them, but of course, you know, there could be others out there. So, but, oh well, there you have it. So let's go and talk with Patrick Pierce. It'd be neat, actually, if Modre actually tried to ambush you at some point later in the game, but to my knowledge, he makes no attempt to do so. And he will clear out of Southgate Station once we are done talking with Patrick Pierce. And I forgot to talk with the gentleman out in Core City for more of Jack Quicksilver's quest. I think we'll do that when we get back there, because we will be going back there to turn in the quest we completed to Jack Quicksilver. So another game I'm playing, because I was inspired when playing Biomutant, it has the name Mutant in it. I'm playing Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, and I'm actually recording it. It's fun. I like the turn-based combat in it. I like the voice acting in it as well, and it's a pretty game. It's held up well. I think it came out like 4 or 5 years ago or so. It looks good. Looks good. I like the voice acting. I know nothing about the story, so I'm having a lot of fun experiencing another world and the characters in it without knowing too much about any of them. Let's see. Okay, so we can't really tell Tanner about the murder. I don't know, by the way, if it's possible for you to mess this quest up. I mean, you can tell Patrick Lennox that you can't find any... You don't have any more information to go on, and that his brother did die in his sleep, which would, I think, fail the quest. Even though you might technically complete it, because you found no information, so... As far as anyone knows, he did indeed die in his sleep. But I don't know for you a way to fail this quest if you have gathered all the information. Oh, Decker. Did your brother ever mention anything to you about Spectres or Operation Banishment? No. He never did. Not as far as I can remember. No, why? I asked around and found out Pat was a part of that operation while he was working for Praetorian Security. He never told me about it. I can't help you. I'm sorry. Never mind, Lennox. Let me ask you something else. I have reasons to believe that your brother was murdered. Lennox's eyes enlarge, revealing fully how bloodshot they actually are. Really? Do you know who did it? Modre. Why would he do something like that? He had reasons for revenge. Revenge? Tell me what you know. You need to tell Lennox the clues that made you suspect Modre was the killer. So, general clues? Something was used to pierce Patrick's nose and damage the brain. Spectres are elite assassins who are famous for killing their targets by stabbing them through the nose, killing them and leaving a wound that is difficult to find. During his Praetorian Security days, Patrick was a part of the operation that hunted down and killed the remaining Spectres, Biocorp's elite Special Forces unit. He had a Spectre insignia that confirms he was one of the members. His real name is Michael Mornington, and he was a member of the Spectre's unit. As for murder weapon clues, he was killed with a large surgical needle. That bastard! Thank you! Thank you! You finally discovered who killed Pat. You can return to Jack for your payment. I finally know what happened to him. So long, Lennox. Rest well now that you know the truth. I will. Hey, that gives us one audio experience point. Alright, let's go and talk with Tanner. I don't think we can actually convince him to arrest Modre, but I can't remember. So while we're here, we'll talk to him really quick. Nope. Okay. I also don't think that Pasquale will say anything if we go to him, but we'll double check just in case. Yep, okay. So let's double back to Southgate Station. And we'll talk to Jack Quicksilver, turn the 2 quests we completed. And then next episode, we'll take care of the final quest for Jack Quicksilver. I really like these quests also. There's no combat in them, to my knowledge. It's just talking to people and learning a little bit more of the lore of Underrail, which they did a good job creating. I really like this game, which should be obvious because I'm playing through it a 3rd time. Alright, then anything else happening? Well, the uploads for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Fellsteel Arbiter's Mark are beginning to fall off more and more now. Fellsteel has pissed me off with how bad the AI is. I've gotten all the pieces to complete this optional quest, which apparently gives you another optional character, an NPC. But to get this character in your group requires you to save him from an attack by demons. And I don't have any control over his AI. I can't move him to where I want. I can't have him use any abilities that I wish. The AI does it. And the AI does the most stupid, dumbest things in the world. And he dies from full life to no life in 1 turn all the time. I've tried this battle 5 times now, and I can't save his life. It's so dumb. And it's really put me... it's put me off from wanting to even play the game. The AI for Fellsteel generally is pretty good, but even when I'm fighting it, sometimes it makes really dumb decisions. It feels like they could have spent more time, I think, working on the AI or fixing it. Some of the battles when I'm fighting the enemies aren't all trying to attack me. And some of them will like be just ending their turn over and over again because I'm not in threat range for anything they do, and they have no buffs to use on their friends. So they just stand there and don't bother engaging in the combat, which makes it much easier for me, which I'm glad about. But it's frustrating. And the game has also become a bit more Alpha Strike. It's been more about the Alpha Strikes, trying to one-hit kill an enemy from full life to no life, and the enemy is trying to do that to me as well now. It's gotten a bit gamey, and I'm not liking it as much as I used to. Yeah, I'm done with Everard's assignment. I've been informed. It gives you 400 Stygian coins. There you go. Anything else? I'm done with Pierce's assignment. As I hoped. It gives you 400 Stygian coins. There you go. Anything else? Nope. Thanks, Jack. And we get no oddity experience points for turning those quests in. Okay. Alright, well, let's stop here. We play for almost an hour, everyone. And when we pick up, we will complete the other quest for Jack in Core City. And then, I think we might have done everything correctly. And we'll get a chance to meet the leader of his organization. And I think we'll have a chance to join it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.